Hi everyone, I'm Jay Stevens. I'm the bass player for Canadian blues guitarist David Gogo. I also am an instructor and the owner of the I Wanna Rock School of Music, www.iwannarock.ca. This is the 1-year follow-up review of my Elixir stainless steel bass strings. If you check my other videos, you'll notice I posted a review after about 6 months of these. The quick backstory, the 2012 NAMM show in Anaheim, Elixir came out with a stainless steel set of bass strings and gave me a set to try out, and I put them on in February of 2012. I posted a video in the summer of 2012 showing the condition of my strings and my opinion of them. And the condition, they were very good, and the other thing was that I generally hate stainless steel strings, but the Elixirs are great. They're not as bitey as stainless, they're not as hard on the fingers, and they're not overly bright and kind of clangy. Like, if you like that, then that's one thing, but they have a bit of brightness, but to me they sort of sound like new nickel wounds. They just kind of got to that point where they never start suffering for tone, but they sound like, if you like a fresh set of nickel wounds, they sound like that kind of forever so far. So the number one problem that I've had with Elixirs, and I've heard lots of other people, is the shedding that the strings do after a while. The strings still sound good, but they look horrible when they got all those little frayed edges coming off, like you can see the coating coming off. So this is the end of January 2013. So pretty much 1 year since I put these strings on this number one bass of mine. This is my Godin Shifter 4 that I play pretty much on everything. And here, I'll give you a close-up of the strings after 1 year of use. And this is me playing with a pick, with fingernails, slapping, thumb, whatever, all styles. And you can see the strings look pretty much new. There's no shedding, there's no hairiness. There might be a few tiny little fibers, but you'd have to really look close to see them. And you can tell by the dust around all my hardware that I have not had these strings off and cleaned up. So if there's one downfall to Elixir strings, it's that I don't properly clean and take care of my instruments anymore, because the strings are just on for so long. Normally I'd take them off, and on a rosewood neck I'd clean the fretboard and oil it and clean all the stuff. Now this one it's getting all funky. So in the first review, people emailed me and complained that I didn't play enough, and my response is basically, how can you in internet land tell how my bass sounds through whatever I'm running through and judge the quality of string? You're really going by what I say, but I'll try to play a few examples for you to show you. Typically if you had a year-old set of strings, there's certain things that don't work too well after about a year. One of them is harmonics. And the harmonics are still strong. They still jump out just like a brand new set of strings. I've had other strings that when they're dead, there's no harmonics. The other thing people asked me about was the slap tone, because as soon as you start losing, generally you lose high end on strings fairly fast on a heavily gigged set. And people were asking about slap tones, and I think I've still got a great slap tone going. Still very bright. Still lots of snap to them. Still lots of great bright pop sounds coming out. You can hear the metallic hitting. The other question I've had is, like, being a stainless steel, if you're switching from nickels and you've tried stainless steel in the past and you haven't liked the bright tone, the overly clankiness, they're wondering if you can tame it down. On my shifter, I generally use the back two pickups, which is kind of the brightest. It's sort of like a jazz pickup and the Music Man in the back. But in my neck pickup, or neck and middle, I can get great Motown-y type. So no, it's nothing clanky, nothing overly annoying in the bright end, but they still got life to them. The other thing that I cannot do on a dead set of strings, especially a year-old set of strings, is any sort of chording tap. without the you know, the freshness of a good pair of strings, the notes up top just do not come out well. And the tap chords come out really nice, as does left-hand tap, like, or left-hand slap even. Or any sort of melodic. That sort of stuff is pretty much impossible on dead strings. So here's my thoughts after years. I still love them. And remember, I generally hate stainless steel strings. I like the old Elixirs, the nickel wounds, but my issues with them were the shedding. It would get to the point on my bass where they still sounded good, but they look so ugly I just changed them, and that's like throwing away money. So the new ones that just look great, and it's my understanding from talking to the guys at NAMM this year that their bass strings in general have the same coating. So even if you like the nickel wound ones, they're more durable. They won't shed like the old ones. But the stainless is nice. The other thing with stainless, like you know, other ones I've tried have been really like finger grinders. You know, like they rip your calluses off. They're like dragging your hand up and down a knife blade or something. And while these are a little bit tougher, like they're not as soft, I'd say, as a nickel, they're not nearly as abrasive on your fingers. The one nice thing with them is, you know, Elixirs are kind of really slick and like a heavy coating. They almost feel like you're almost greased up. The stainless has just a little bit of bite to it, so it's really great for me. I like to have a little bit of pull on the string that I can feel it, and my finger's not just slipping right off, especially when you get sweaty. You know, so whatever they did, I'm digging it. And just so you all know, I don't have a deal with Elixir. I've had emails about that too, saying like, you know, you have to like them. You're got a deal. It's like the only actual endorsement I have is these guys, the Godin, and I was using their stuff before the endorsement. It's just a nice little bonus for me. But in terms of strings, I don't have any allegiance to any companies. And you know, like probably most bass players out there, I've tried everything. You name it, I've tried it, and I still have some basses. I mean, you can see some in the corner. I've got this one strung with Elixirs. I've got another one here strung with Tomastic Jazz flats. My other bass is currently strung with Diodario flats, but you know, Elixir doesn't make a flat, so I use you know, I tried a bunch of different things. But these are the ones that I just kind of threw on and they stayed there, which is kind of rare for me because I'm always kind of in the hunt. So check them out. I got a pack around here somewhere. Oh well, I must have put them on somewhere. Yeah, you know the package, big green package. Look for them in stores. Look for the stainless steel ones. I think that, you know, they might be a little bit more money than your big box store brand, but hey man, I got a year out of these, and I've gone a year before without changing strings, but they're dead, and it was more of laziness or cheapness. These ones, I've got a year out of them, and there's no sign of stopping. I will report back again in a few months or so to see what shape this is in. Thanks everybody. Once again, I'm Jay Stevens. www.iwannarock.ca. Check us out there, and thanks for checking me out. See ya.